Hey folks, welcome back to Banjo-Kazooie. We're here in Gruntilda's lair, and this here, you'll be seeing a lot of these guys, if I can get up here without actually collecting it. This is a Jiggy, or Jigsaw, or puzzle piece, or whatever you want to call it. It's the main collectible of the game. It's a lot like the star from Mario. Basically, you need to collect a certain amount in order to access new levels. Golly gee willikers. And, again, wow, Grunty. So, over here, we have access to the first level, but we need to unlock it first. And to do that, we need to complete pictures, which many people thought was a ripoff of Mario 64, which it kind of is. Now later things get more complicated when the pictures are further away from the world entrances, but yeah. For here it's introductory. And that's the first level. Now Grunty will yell at you and make fun of you several times when you're just walking around her lair, which I like. I think it's a nice touch. And this is the first level. Mumbo's Mountain. Bottles will always tell you how many moves you can learn. He's always very polite about that. And this is a jinjo. It's, you collect 5, you get a Jiggy. And there's another thing I want to collect, but I want to make sure that it doesn't interrupt the jinjo. And this is a Mumbo token. There are various amounts, and you need them in order to unlock a certain special something with a certain special character. Anywho. Next location, we'll be dealing with that in a little bit. This here is what I call the village. I'm going to try to name each of these areas for easy reference. And here's our first new move. This is also a very fun move, although not really as useful as several others, because some enemies are too big to use it properly. Before we use that, I'm going to grab this Mumbo token, and Parrot Duck Globe up into his eye socket to get another Jiggy. And yes, he does do that dance every time. And I happen to like it, thank you very much. Anywho, we can come on here. Notes are like coins, except there's exactly 100 of them, and you need them to unlock future worlds. Again, like Jiggies, except different. These are eggs. We cannot use eggs yet, but we will very soon. Oh, this is an enemy. And that's me missing. Jinjo? They really make sure that you know how to use the moves. And there's a Jiggy, hooray! So we will deal with that and that fairly soon. And it's generally a good strategy to leave honeycombs that you don't need around, because they stay and are useful in case you take more damage. We're just ducking in here. Ow. There's a thing for us to grab. I may need to get a new move before I can grab this. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. Forgot that I needed that. But not too much of an inconvenience. I collect these notes. And hello, there's just a Jiggy standing right there. And you may have heard that whistle. Jinjos, there's one right there, will yell at you and help you, but it's also kind of frustrating when you know they're there and it's like, alright, I see you, shut up. Download the token. And learn our second new move. Talon Trot is one of the most useful moves, although I might want to lean off it a little bit for the sake of the video. For one very distinct reason. Kazooie talks a lot when she's using it. And while it does speed things up a great deal, because this is faster than normal walking, it might also be kind of frustrating. So, I don't know. I'll try to avoid it as much as possible, but yeah. Now then, let's go grab that Mumbo token while I'm still thinking about it. Got that. And oh my god, enemies. Now, let's adjust the camera so we can grab these notes. And then climb right back up the hill, because there's a whole bunch of prizes on the hill itself, which you can't access without Talon Trot. That yellow jinjo. And yeah, the arbitrary blocking things are called note doors. And you collect a certain amount of notes in order to break them. Here we have the first boss of the game. There aren't many bosses, honestly. Most levels don't actually have one. But, yep. Anywho, first thing you want to do is have him throw at these switches. And yeah, this one kind of materialized out of different existence. And that will cause one of these to spawn, for some reason. And we also want to grab this grapefruit or whatever it is. Melon. Orange. Sure. And give it to this monkey who will say he wants it if you approach him without it. Well, gee, thanks. They really do throw Jiggies at you for the first couple levels. Just to get you in the zone. And I have a terrible time getting up here. I've never been good at it. Let's grab some eggs. Grab this move. Final move of the area. Sounds pleasant. Sounds less pleasant. Yeah, shooting forward is generally more useful than shooting backwards. But shooting backwards has its uses. Usually in terms of puzzle applications rather than combat. So before we attack the monkey, jump over here. Grab the last Mumbo token of the level, over here, and this is the witch switch. There's one in every level, you pound it, and a Jiggy will appear outside the level somewhere. So let's jump on back, and let's harass that ape thing. Stand up here to talk to him. Hit him, he'll get angry and throw an orange at you. Aiming could be better in this game. It's fixed in the sequels through various means. But this isn't too tough because you can basically stay still. And another Jiggy. There are tons of Jiggies in this area. It's a relatively small level, you know. But he still throws things at you, that's mean. Okay, bowls. Screw the bowls. These guys are good. These are 3 extra health. These guys cannot be defeated. They're very fast. They're annoying. There's a Jinjo. And the trick to this Jinjo is you gotta jump when the tide is up. Well, not really tide, but the water level. I swear, that confused me so much as a kid. And now we can climb this hill without the use of a tree, and also grab these guys. Getting close. Almost have all 10. Most levels in this game can be completed on your first time visiting. There's very little backtracking. There is a pair of levels that you need a move from the other one in order to complete. So now, you want to shoot these eggs, but before you do the last one, honeycomb piece up here. The level will, like, respawn every time, so if you screw that up, you can always exit and enter the level again. And now we're gonna go in here and seek some help from Mumbo. You can see that sign there. Need 5 Mumbo tokens for him to do what he does. Hi there, Mumbo. Mumbo is basically the best character in the game. But he also talks very slowly, so I'm going to speed that up. Basically, he has pretty rockin' sweet Mumbo magic. And also most Mumbo huts have the ability to go up on its rafters and grab some sort of prize up here. Sometimes it's optional, sometimes you actually do need to get some up here in order to complete the level. So stand on the switch, press B, and the mighty Mumbo turns you into an ant. Okay, Termite, whatever. Woo. So any level with Mumbo in it will be able to turn you into an animal specific to that level. But not all levels have Mumbo in them, unfortunately. So Termite's kind of cool. He can't attack, but he's even better at gripping than the Talon trot is. Assuming he can jump. He also jumps pretty high. So he's... well, through normal means he's the only way you can scale this tower. If you're, like, hella good, you can do it with the Talon trot, but I'm not hella good. Avoid. Wait for the camera to catch up, too. And unfortunately, the way I'm doing this, you won't get to see the super special awesome dance that Banjo-Kazooie do when you get the 10th Jiggy for a level. But you still get the fanfare. So now take a minute to observe the graphical prowess of N64. Yeah, not too bad for a 1998 game. Anywho, jump on down here. Termites can scale this wall, and in here, second honeycomb piece. There are 2 per level from now on. And we can grab the last 6 notes in here. You can do this as regular, but it's easier because this guy doesn't need to breathe for some reason. Now we just go on to the switch and exit the level. So, goodbye, Mumbo's Mountain.